Welcome, everyone, to this episode of the Body Harmonics podcast. Hi, I'm Renee McLaughlin, and today I am joined by my co host, Monica Gose. And today we are so blessed to be able to share with you all the biggest question that we are getting about these biophotons. And that question is how are other people using it? What kind of results are people getting? Because, with new technology, some people can be a little hesitant to try it until they know how it's affecting other people. And that's what today's episode is all about. So I'm going to turn it over now to Monica. Share, Monica.
Thank you, Renee. So first of all, let me introduce the ball. This is the ELUUMIS biophoton ball, and it emits living biological photon light. So even if you just simply look at it and focus on it and concentrate on it, you might actually begin to even feel something. So I'm going to hold it up while I'm telling you the stories about what has been happening for people. So this energy is available two different ways. One, you can invest in either the large ball, which is sky, or there are two smaller ones, and they're called matter. Now, they work differently. We've talked about that in other episodes. This time, we simply want to share what are people experiencing when they encounter this light. So the first story I'm going to share with you is a friend of mine. Her daughter, 16 years old, got in a terrible, she got accident. She was hit by a car about a year and a half, 2 years ago now, and she had just terrible physical injuries that she did well to recover from. However, the brain injury is still something she's dealing with. She's had some cognitive function loss. So she's been working with a neuro tracker, which is an online program that shows, that kind of exercises the frontal cortex. So one evening, mom and her daughter got on the BioHealing Stream. So this is the energy being transmitted through screens, whether it's a computer screen or a phone. You can cast it to your television. So they did the BioHealing Stream with me via Zoom. And it was later in the evening, maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock for them. So they went to bed shortly thereafter. Now, her daughter apparently woke up in the morning, got herself ready, and she was inspired. She felt really energized and inspired. And she cleaned the kitchen, emptied the dishwasher, refilled the dishwasher. And, typically my friend does that, but because they were relaxed and wanted to go to sleep afterwards. So they did that. And so she was really surprised when she saw that her daughter had done that in the morning. And when she did the neuro tracker that day, she got the highest score she'd ever gotten in a year and a half that she's been using it. And she beat everybody on the leaderboard. She was the top on the leaderboard of the whole clinic who was using that for their, to help with their brain injury recovery. So that, her mom she used the word magical. It was just magical that all that happened. And she also had a beautiful day where she had, she said that she was able to surrender something in a way that she hadn't been able to before. And it just opened up doors inside of her heart. So we've got magical and inspiration happening with these two. And they just are loving it. She immediately signed up for, a 6-month stream so that would continue to help her daughter. And so another instance I had was I had contacted a friend about scheduling a Zoom call with me so that she could experience the BioHealing Stream. And so I called her and talked to her on the phone, and I realized she had great resistance to wanting to interact with a device. She's like, I'm trying to spend less time with devices. We hear that a lot, right? Now, just it has to be said that the energies coming through also help to harmonize and balance the energies from, that are coming through the screens and the internet and all that. So that is something that, yes, people have a resistance to it. No, they don't actually need to. We're actually helping to harmonize and balance some of that crazy, discordant energy when this energy flows through. That being said, she did say, she's a Reiki master, and she says to me, "Well, Monica, could you just do a distance session with me, like right now?" I'm like, "Well, sure, why not?" So I go and get and to be honest, it was the first time I'd done it because I never really had an opportunity to just do a distance session. So I looked at my clock. I figured, okay, I got 20, I'll give her 20 minutes. And so I just got still and held the ball, set the intention. I was connecting with her. And 8 minutes into it, she says to me, "Monica, you can stop now." I'm like thinking to myself, well, either that was really great or it was really not great.
Okay, what? Okay.
So, well, it turns out it was really great. And she told me, she's been a Reiki master for many, many years. And when she works on people, she says, I leak. So her eyes start to water, her nose starts to run. And she said that happens when she gets really deep into the cellular level. That's when that starts, and that's clearing, right? She's moving energy through water, and she said, never, ever, ever has anyone done that to me. That effect happens to me from somebody working on me, and within 8 minutes, this ball had her and me, just me in my house, sitting with her on the phone with the intention we're connected. The water is flowing, it's running. And she was like, okay, I want one. So that was my second story. And the third one, though, this is another friend. She came visiting, and we went to the lake, met her at the campground, and we took a swim, and I had these with me. So I said afterwards, after the swim, we just sat on the shore in the sun, and I said, well, here, just hold these. And she held this one for about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, and the little ones about the same, we maybe 30, 40 minutes total. And then I took her back to her campsite and get a text from her the next morning that she said, Monica, the energy didn't stop after you left. Her first what happened was she felt this sense of just extraordinary calm, centered peacefulness. And she said it didn't stop. She had energy. So she took a long walk, and she said, if it hadn't have gotten dark, I'd still be walking, because she had that much energy. So then she ordered one. And so 2 days later, I go to the lake again, and we swam again. And she told me that day she had gone earlier for a hike. Now it's a long hiking trail. And she said she had lost her footing and she fell hard. And she said she fell so hard that she just laid there for like 5 minutes just before she even got up, just making sure that she was okay to even get up. And then when she came to the lake anyway, we got in the water. We didn't do a hard swim like we did the day before, but her wrist was hurting, and I think it was her hip also. And she said, I'm trying to see, I have notes here, wrist and knee, or wrist and her knee. Okay. And she said to me the next day, I got a text from her that night when she went to sleep. Now, again, we did this in the afternoon. The energy keeps working long after. So that night she goes to sleep, wakes up in the morning. She said when she went to bed, the pain in her knee and her wrist were between a 7 and 8 out of 10. She woke up in the morning and it was at less than 1. So the energy keeps on working. And regardless of if it's a device that you have in your possession, or if you do a distance healing with it, or if you use the BioHealing Stream, the energy is the same energy. It is that living biological photon light. So those are my stories for this week. Every time somebody encounters these, something else happens. So that's really all I have to share right now. And just
Oh, yeah.
enjoying the energy of the ball.
And so, you guys, as Monica's holding it up and she mentioned it to connect with it. Now, that seems a little odd, right? What do you mean connect? It's on a podcast. Connect. Right now, there are things that are unseen that, can really help us with the energies. And also, if you look closely and Monica moves it around, you can see that there is very specific sacred geometry in these. Very specific. And sacred geometry is what has created the entire cosmos. And it's breathtaking. The other thing that I just want to mention too is something that we're not used to, you guys. And what that is, at least I'm not. Somebody else might be if you're used to doing a lot of energy work, even though I am. This works on all the levels of your biofield. It works internally, physically, on your physical body. It works on your mental body, on your emotional body, on your spiritual body. I mean, through all the layers, it's actually helping to create it, to strengthen it, to keep you safe, to keep you healthy. And the longer that you use it, the results are cumulative. And so that's something else to know about it. So I have been now doing the BioStream consistently for about 2 months. 2 months, you guys. And I will say, typically, I will at least do one session a day. Most of the time, I do 2 sessions a day. The sessions are only 30 minutes. And these are like doing complete healing sessions. I mean, imagine if you went to a Reiki master and you did 2 Reiki sessions a day for 2 months, right? It's just amazing. And so what have I found? I barely have words to really describe all the different changes. We throw words around and sometimes they just end up not really meaning anything. And the word that I'm going to use is transformation, because that's how I feel. I feel like I'm a different person almost inside. Physically, it has almost completely, I'm just going to use it, almost completely healed my whole digestive system. And some of you know my story, some of you don't. It doesn't really matter, except to say that for almost half my life, I suffered from a systemic staph infection. And can you imagine like the internal trauma that might have caused on all my tissues? I can eat now and my stomach doesn't hurt. My elimination for the first time in my life is magnificent. And for those of you who have that issue, like I might have had like 1 or 2 here and there where I'm like, yes, look at that. It all worked. I'm so excited. And then I tried to do exactly the same thing, hoping that, and then it just stopped. I used some fascia maneuvers. It was great for a couple days. And then, not now. It's consistent. I could go on and on. I don't want to because it almost sounds too much. So if you are interested, and to see just how this might help you, your family members, your pets, your plants, whatever it is that you love and want to help, we are able to give you a free session of the BioHealing Stream. Again, if you are concerned about being on a device, know that the stream is programmed, Monica mentioned this, is programmed to only allow these pure biophotons to come through. So even though you're on screens, you're on devices, They are, run by some additional energy source, that what is streaming through your device, whether it is your phone, your laptops, it doesn't matter as long as you have an internet, what you are getting through here is pure. That's how powerful it is. This is technology that has been put on this planet right now for us, because what we are going through and will continue to go through is unprecedented. And so we need unprecedented, new, high frequency. This is the highest frequency technology available. So with that, we just want to thank you for listening. If you do decide, yes, you want to experience this, you can just send me an email to bodyharmonics@substack.com. We'll have it down wherever you're watching this, and just say free session, and make sure you give your email. We'll have it from that, and we'll make sure to send you a link for that. Do you have any closing remarks, Monica, before we end?
I do. So as far as when you do the BioHealing Stream, especially when you try the free one for the first time, treat it like a distance healing session. Most of the people who will be watching this understand quantum entanglement. They understand that the energy, is just always ever present, and they understand what a distance healing session is and how to prepare for it. You get yourself some quiet time and know that you're going to be undisturbed for 30 minutes. And we have some instructions for all that. So, it's treated that way because that's what it is. So those are my parting words.
Perfect. Thanks, Monica. And thank you all once again. And for now, move freely, heal deeply, and flow with ease on the light. We'll see you next time.